Here's the truth that you probably don't want to hear about growing your music business. You're way overcomplicating every single thing that you're doing. How do I know this? Because I used to do the exact same thing. I'm gonna make this video really raw, really uncut, just coming from my experience, and not just my experience, but what I've heard from other music experts, right? Expert musicians. So little about, the backstory here and what the goal of this video is too. So the goal of this video is really to help you understand how simple, not easy, but how simple it can be to actually grow your music business to 10, 20, or even further than that, 10, 20K per month, and how to make six figures with your music business and quit all your other jobs, quit DoorDash and Ubering, quit working at the coffee shop, the restaurant, whatever it is, and just go all in on your music. I know this because this is exactly what happened to me. So let me explain exactly what I mean and like the story so you actually get it. So for 13 years, I was flatlined at zero with my music, okay? I started out as a rapper, then I learned music production, then I fell in love with the business side. I started making money as a producer, selling beats, mixing, mastering, doing recording sessions, things of that nature. And then I pivoted out of music. I was like, I want to go learn real business outside of music, because the music industry, you probably already figured out, is pretty screwed overall. And so I was like, I want to learn business outside of it. So I did social media marketing. I did my own agency. I was a closer. I left all that, went back to my own music. I started doing my own thing as an artist. Then I started a coaching program where I used to teach recording artists how to produce their own music. It was finally at that point when I scaled to 20K a month. And so if you're a music producer, an audio engineer, or a music coach, and you want to scale your music business and actually start making 10, 20K a month or more than that, you got to really pay attention to the things I'm going to discuss in this video, because I'm going to get very real and raw and authentic, but I'm going to give you tactical things that you can and should probably implement by the end of the video. So a couple of key things happened for me that really helped me scale my business. First of all, I came up with an offer that I could sell for multiple thousands of dollars. I sold my offer for $3K. Then I bumped up the price to $5. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, well, you did coaching, it doesn't matter, because what I was selling was I'm gonna be honest with you, it was difficult. Most recording artists don't want to learn music production, and those who do don't always have a computer and don't have the right resources. So I had to battle a lot of uphill battles and was still able to get my business to 20K a month in cash collected, right? Getting artists to pay 3K. So the very first thing you really need is like, what is my offer? And one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I know I used to have, that you might have too, and it's not your fault, it's not my fault, is how am I going to actually charge? Are people going to pay me thousands of dollars? Do artists do that? And I used to think, no way, like artists are like just looking for cheap beats, or artists just want to pay by the hour, right? Or whatever it is. Or I can't coach, I don't have skills, none of these things. I got proven wrong by my own experience, because truthfully, artists will pay thousands of dollars, right? I did have skills that I could actually build into a coaching. And I'm not saying you have to build a coaching business necessarily. You absolutely don't. I have a client named Ange who was my first ever client, taught her music production, then taught her how to build her business as a producer, right? Done for you production with a little bit of coaching involved in it, but we helped her come up with an offer. And she's had clients pay her anywhere from $1,500 to $7,000 for this offer. One client paying her $6-7 grand. She's also had clients pay her monthly recurring revenue, which is monthly recurring, $500 per month. Beat, custom exclusive unlimited rights, mix and master, a vocal recording course, a community of other artists, group calls, and one-on-one calls with her production clients. All of that for $1,500. She's had clients repeat pay her though. Like she'll get a client to pay her $1K or $1,500, or she'll get clients to pay her for multiple songs, or she'll get clients to repeat pay her. She's not a coach. She didn't do a coaching program, but we helped her spend $7,000 on paid ads to make $43,000 in paid ads. It's a 5.5x return on ad spend as a music producer. So what I'm talking about here isn't just for me, oh, you did a coaching program, right? You're one of those gurus. No, it works for producers. I've helped other people as well, like my client Noah, who's an audio engineer. He used to only get people to do, he's done mixing and mastering by the hour. He also has an AI mixing mastering website, low ticket, but I helped him implement all of these strategies so that he could actually start getting high ticket. And he got his first client for $1,500 to pay him to learn mixing and mastering. Okay. So we keep going on and on and on, but the point is you can and should be getting people to pay you multi-thousands of dollars. So the first belief that you need to break is that you aren't worth it. You need to break this belief that you're not worth it, and you need to break this belief that you can't get artists to pay thousands. You need to break the belief as well that artists won't pay thousands of dollars. It's just not true. I've proven it, and so have my clients. And there's a lot of other people as well. So that's really that first part. The next part, stop overcomplicating everything. Like, you're making everything too complicated. I talk to producers, and I'm talking to one in the DMs in particular. It's like, I need to come out with my instrumental album, and then I need to do my website, and I need to have content ready. And it's like, you're getting all these things ready and getting this launch ready, but you still don't know how are you going to actually get people to find you? How are you going to actually talk to those people? How are you going to convert them? He said, I'm not ready for sales because I don't have a product, but he's already producing, mixing, mastering. I don't think he's alone. I think a lot of people, you might be one of those people that's fallen victim to this idea that you need to build all these different things and I'm not ready for sales. Hey brother, here's the deal. If you're not full-time with your music and if you don't have a lot of money in the bank, you should always be ready for sales, okay? There's a time and a place to slow sales down maybe, but that's if you're like, hey, bills are taken care of, I've got monthly recurring revenue, and I've got 6 figures sitting cash in my bank account. Then maybe you can start to re-strategize and reprioritize. But until that point happens, sales should always be the priority. Always. Revenue generating activities. And if you're overcomplicating your business right now, thinking, I need this and I need that and I need to do this and I need to do that, I'm just telling you, you're bullshitting yourself and you're lying. You don't need all that. What got me from zero to my first 20K month, 20K a month, and consistent 20K months, and then doubling my business the next year, was simplifying everything. Really simple. One ad on Instagram to get followers, me DMing them, one YouTube video that was like the main explainer video. We call it a video sales letter, a VSL. Calendly, and the VSL, by the way, is once somebody like finds your Instagram, that's the link in my bio, they go to the explainer video, it makes them feel like, oh my God, this is actually something I could do. As well, after I would actually book calls with people, I'd send them that explainer video being like, here's everything you need. Calendly, paid, pro Calendly account, a paid Zoom account, and that was literally it. That was it, actually. I'm trying to think about what else I really had, and that's all you need. For my client, Ange, she's like, hey, should I set up a beat store? I'm like, for what? You're not selling cheap beats, for what? She's like, well, when someone like wants to book a call with me, how do I get them to hear my music? I'm like, just make a private SoundCloud link. And then when someone books a call with you, just send them the private SoundCloud link and be like, yo, before your call, by the way, look through my beats so that you know what my style is like and you can decide on your own if my sound is good for you. And then also pick the beat you'd want if you do choose to work with me. Because I told her, I was like, you don't want to get people on calls and have them be like, yo, I don't even know what you sound like. Like, that'd be stupid. So cover that. Guess what? That's exactly what she did. People would come to calls with Ange and be like, yo, I picked out my beat. So then when she pitched her price, they're already seeing themselves working with her. But like, see how simple that is? It's not like I need my beat store and I need my website. I need a website listing out my services with a contact us and all this words and explaining. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're over complicating it, and I understand why, because that's what everybody else on the internet is saying to do. A lot of people on the internet make it so complicated and make it so difficult to figure out, and it's like, I get why they're doing that, I really do, but the truth is, it's just not true. Like, you don't need to do that. Okay? The other big thing too is one of the biggest mistakes and limiting beliefs I've seen, or like not limiting beliefs, but wrong beliefs, is thinking that content is what's going to get new eyeballs on you. It is one of the stupidest things, and I used to think it too, so I'm not calling you stupid. I was stupid too. It's like, we think that, oh, we just need to post content. We need to make our content better, more compelling, tougher editing, hooks, going viral, like all this shit, and it's like, brother, no, like that's not what you do. You can do that, by the way, and it's great to have a lot of great content, but the truth and the fact of the matter is, that's not what gets new eyeballs. It's so easy and simple to get new eyeballs just using paid ads. Okay? I don't think you can run paid ads if you don't have great content. So you should have great content, obviously. But just relying on content to get new eyeballs I'm telling you right now, I am telling you right now, especially on Instagram specifically and on YouTube, it is a recipe for disaster. It's not reliable, it's not sustainable, it's not scalable. It's just not. What I was doing was I had one ad that I was running that was getting me followers every single day. At one point, I was spending over $100 a day and I was getting over over 2,000 new followers per month. Right now, I'm about to start running a brand new ad as well. But the point of this is like, this is what you can accomplish. This is how I got from 10K followers to 38K followers. This was what I did. And not only were those followers, but those were people I DM'd and turned into paying customers. And so the way you have to also think about this too is everything boils down. Everything's a funnel. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's a producer, and I'm helping him build out his business as well. Not as a paid client, more as like me advising him as a friend. And I just asked him, I said, hey, like, I know you're starting to get into, for him, he's doing cold DMing, right? He doesn't really have quite the budget for paid ads yet, so he's doing cold DMing. I'm like, cool, no worries, let me teach you that. It's not the most effective strategy, but it can work. Again, I would recommend run paid ads. You should just try to get the budget. If you don't have the budget for paid ads, yes, you can do cold DMs and content, but I'm telling you, paid ads is the vibe. So anyway, I'm talking to my boy, and he's like, how many DMs? I asked him, how many DMs are you sending a day? He's like, dude, I'm probably messaging like, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10 artists a day. Sometimes like 15. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, you really need to get your numbers up. And he's like, well, how many does it take for you to get a client? And I'm like, let me explain it to you like this, bro. When I made 20 grand, when I was doing 20, 25 grand a month, I would get anywhere between 6 to 8 high paying clients. 6 to 8 clients to pay me 3K or 5K. There was one point where I raised my price. So let's just call it 3K for all intents and purposes. I got 6 to 8 clients to pay me, 6 to 10 clients to pay me 3K. But I was getting 2,000 new followers a month. So like, if we just want to do the quick math, pulling out the calculator here. So if we do 10, let's call it 10 divided by 2,000. That's 0.5%. So out of all the people that like were following me, I got 0.5% to actually convert into a high paying client. By the way, that might be a really bad number. I might have not been doing well. I might have been underperforming. But let me tell you, I was getting between a 6x and an 8x return on ad spend, closing at 30%. So not that bad, right? Obviously, I could have increased that number, but that was pretty darn good. And so my point to share that with you is like, when you think about content, if you start to hear these real ass numbers, I should hope that you'd be thinking at this point, man, I'm not doing anything really to get new eyeballs. Not really. Like, you should be starting to realize, like, damn, like, me putting out a beat tape and setting up a website and like getting on people's podcasts and like going to in-person events, like all this shit, you should probably realize that, like, after watching this video, you should be like, damn, that stuff doesn't work. So the biggest thing I wanted to take away from this video is just shifting your belief, shifting your mindset, and realizing what's actually possible for you to grow your music business. Fire.